Hey y'all, my name is Mindy and welcome to my YouTube channel. I call it the Geeky South, and here I'm going to show you all kinds of tutorials for Inkscape, Cricut Design Space, and maybe even some Photoshop elements. But today, for my first ever tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this really beautiful monogram with this pattern overlay. I'm even going to show you how to make the pattern. So if you're interested in learning how to do this, then please keep on watching. The first thing that we're going to need to do is create a new document. I already have one down here in my taskbar, but all you have to do is click up here, the little piece of paper that has like the little bent corner. Just click on that. The first thing we're going to do is make our pattern. It's really simple and easy. It doesn't take a lot of time. Of course, you can go on Google and search. I think this is like a Moroccan style, or maybe it's called quarter foil. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is kind of early in the morning. It's almost 1:30 a.m. But I'll show you how to make this pattern really quick. It's fun and easy to make your own stuff, I promise. So I'm going to click over here where this little circle is. I'm going to get that, and we're going to come over here to our workspace, and we're going to hold Control, and we're going to drag it down and create a circle. And the next thing we're going to do is come over here to our selector tool, and see this little arrow here? Not holding Control, I'm going to drag it down just a little bit. I want to create sort of an elongated shape. Not exactly an oval, but not exactly a circle. I hope that makes sense. So we're going to need to duplicate this, and there's three ways you can do it in Design Space. You can right-click on your image, come down, and hit Duplicate, or you can come up here to Edit, Duplicate, or my preferred method is hitting just Control-D on my keyboard. It's just a quick and easy way to do it. So I'm going to click off of that and hit Control-D. And now while holding Control, I'm going to drag our... I was holding Shift. Drag that down just like that. There we go. Looks good. Now I'm going to drag a box around both of those using my mouse. I'm actually using a stylus, but whatever you're using. And we're going to come up to Path, Union. And that's just going to make them all one. And now we need to duplicate this again. So whatever your preferred method is. And now we need to turn this. And we're going to come up here to these two options. One is counterclockwise and one is clockwise. Both are 90 degrees. It doesn't really matter which one you pick because either way it goes, you're going to get the same effect. And now I'm going to drag a box around both of those, just like so. And we're going to union those as well. So Path, Union, or if you want to know keyboard shortcuts, it's Control++. And I did that, and it never works for me, so I just hit Union. I don't know why I even said that, but it might work for you on your computer. The next thing we need to do is add like a little square here. So we're going to come over here to our square shape tool, click on it, and draw a little square. Alrighty, get our selector tool, draw a box over that. And now this time we're actually going to have to align these because I'm not sure if I got them perfectly even. When we were working with the circles, they lined up perfectly because when you flip it, it just stays perfectly on the horizontal axis. But over here, we're going to come to Align and Distribute, and we're going to click these two buttons. This one is to center on the vertical axis, and this one is to center on the horizontal. So just click on those. All right. Now, if you notice, mine was over here. This is the stuff I use all the time here in Inkscape. But to find the Align and Distribute, you're going to come to Object and all the way down here to the bottom. Or it's even this little button here up on your toolbar. I just have it over here because it's easy access. Now we're going to come to Path and union that. And that's it. But now we need to create what they call tiled clones. And those are super simple. Don't freak out. Holding Control, I'm actually going to make this smaller because if your pattern is too big, it just won't look good behind your monogram. So we've got that selected, and we're going to come up to Edit, and all the way down here where it says Clone, come over, create tiled clones. And I'm just going to hit reset, and all that's going to do is get rid of your settings because Inkscape will actually save your settings. So if I were to work in this and do something, it would save it the next time I open it. And this just gets rid of it because making tiled clones, you can make them in circles or square, and you have to have different settings for those. So it's just always a good practice just to reset your settings. And the first thing we're going to do is the symmetry. We're kind of up here to P1, simple translation, which is actually the default setting for Inkscape. And then under Shift, we're going to come down here. It says Shift X. Go over to the second column, which is actually per column, and we're going to highlight that and type in -2. Then the next one, Shift Y, in the first one, which is per row, highlight that and type in -2. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't know why it has to be a negative number. It's just something I learned watching some video here on YouTube, and that's just what I use, and it works. So, I'm sorry I can't give a better explanation than that. So now we're going to click Create, and there we go. We're going to get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. Now, before we do anything else, we have to unlink these to make them a path, and that's super simple to do. There's 2 ways you can do that. The easiest way is just to hit delete on your keyboard, and that will get rid of the original, which is the one that is currently selected. But let's say something happens and you accidentally click off your project and you get rid of the selection, because even if you click off of this and go back over here, you're not going to have the original selected. So the good thing to do is just to highlight all of these and come up here to this little padlock that's open and click on that. And that's going to unlink them. And I'll show you by clicking over here on our node editor. And oh my gosh, my Inkscape, it would decide to do this when I'm working on this tutorial. It would decide now not to be responding. So let's see if it will. There we go. All right. You can see now it has all these different, it's not together. I'll show you the difference here in a moment. But see, it has red around this one and then red around this one. So go back to your selector tool. Again, select all of those. Go to Path, Object to Path, and then Path Union. And I guess my Inkscape is going to be thinking about, oh, there it goes. Now let's come over here, click off, come to our node editor, and if we come over here, you can see it shows you red all at once. So that's what we want it to be. Now we can begin to make our monograms. So I'm going to click, just push that over there. I'm going to click off of that. I'm going to get the color for our circle. And then come over here to our circle tool. And I'm going to hold Control and drag this down and make us a circle. All right. Now I'm going to need to duplicate this 3 times. So 1, 2. I'm going to drag those over here. We're going to use those later for our other monograms and even for this one. So now we need to get our pattern. So take this one, drag it over here, and get it as even as possible, because sometimes if you maybe put it like that, it'll look kind of weird, but it's kind of hard sometimes. So just get whatever you think looks good. Alrighty, but now we need to have the circle sitting behind the pattern, and that's easy to do. Just come up here to this part of your tool panel. And see these 4 different little selections? We're going to click this one, which is just lower selection to bottom. Or you can hit End on your keyboard. Now that is still selected, and just hold Shift to select all those unioned clones, and there we go. Now we're going to come up here to Path, Difference. And there we go. But we need to change this color, because if we don't, we'll be super confused, because that's the same color. So I'm just going to change that to pink. And I'm going to come over here, bring this one, and we're going to work on this one over here. There we go. Now we need to get a differing color, just a blue will work, and come back to our circle. And we're going to draw another circle around here. Holding Control, remember. I'm going to make it big enough so you can see what's going on. I think that looks good. So we're going to actually duplicate that and move that one over there. We'll be working with it in just a moment. Now drag a box using your mouse or your stylus, and we're going to open our Align and Distribute, and we're going to align on the vertical, which is this, and horizontal. We're going to leave that open because we're going to use it in just a moment. We're going to come up to Path, Difference. And there we go. That one's ready to go. Draw a box over these 2. Repeat the same steps, vertical, horizontal, Path, Difference. Now we can close that for just a moment. And I'm going to click on this one again. I'm going to duplicate it. and just put it over here. We'll get that one in just a moment. We can bring this one. Oh, we need to bring that one to the top, so we'll click this one, and it'll bring it to the top for us. All right, we're ready to go. Now we just need to make our monogram. I'm going to get my text tool right down here, click on it, click right here, and I'm actually going to click my M and then click away and type the next letter, click away, and type the next letter, because the font I'm using, it's best if you kind of work with them individually at first. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to come up here to my text editor, which is this little button here, click on that, and I'm going to just click on that and start typing what I want, and it's this Monogram KKSC. I got it from dafont.com. I'll leave a link down below. I'm going to click apply. Close that because we don't need it anymore. I'm going to take this arrow and holding control to keep our proportions. Drag it just like that. And now just move these closer together just so we can see exactly how they look. Now dragging a box around all three of them, holding control again, dragging this out just so we can really see what's going on. I think I need to move that M closer, just like that. Move that L just like that. And now I want the M and the L to be aligned on the bottom at the same place. So selecting the M and then holding Shift, I'm going to select the L. And coming back to Align and Distribute, I'm going to select this right here. And it is just to center on the align bottom edges, so we're just going to click on that and then get rid of that. And now we're going to come up here, highlight those. I'm going to go to Object, Ungroup, Path, Object Path, and then Path, Union. And it's not working. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's try stroked path. I might have done it wrong. It is really early in the morning. There we go. Nope, it's not going to want to work today. Object, ungroup, path, stroked path, path, union. There we go. Sometimes it's just a little trial and error. All right, we need to duplicate that. We need one for each monogram, and I'm going to slide this one over here. I'm going to change the color. I think I had a different color on this one. Yeah, I had like a light blue color. Oh, I think it was this one. Oh, I didn't have that selected, so select that. Now let's drag this up here. Get it nice where it'll fit. Now drag a box around all of these. Open your Align and Distribute again. And just again, do it on the vertical and horizontal axis. And then I'm going to come up to Object, Group. And that way you can just move it all at one time. I need to move that just for a second because I got to be able to see what I'm doing. You can also drag a box around them and move them all at the same time. It's just easier if they're already grouped. You don't have to worry about drawing a box around them. So let's move this over here. I think I had this like a dark blue. Yeah, there we go. Let's make it smaller to fit inside that circle. Whoops. Didn't mean to double click on that because if you double click you end up getting your node editor. Let's get that in there just like that. Okay. Now let's highlight those and align and distribute those. Vertical, horizontal. Close that out. Object, group. And there you go. 2 super beautiful monograms. Quick and easy to make, and you can make your own patterns. The possibilities are endless when it comes to making your own. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful and useful. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for future tutorials. I can't wait to make more for you guys. I will be back. And no, I'm not Arnold. Oh, I'm just really tired. Thanks again. Bye.